Welcome to Rainbow Moments, and with us is someone who is a world-famous pianist, a choir master, conductor, and of course he's in Goa right here at the Goa University, where he's come to indulge in some great works with Professor Santiago Jureli, who is at the Goa University Western Music Chair. And with us is none other than Martin Palmeri. Maestro, welcome to Goa, and how does it feel being in a Goan setting?
Thank you very much. Well, I feel very good. It's my first time in India, so everything is new for me, and I'm very happy to be here playing this music from Buenos Aires.
It's nice to know that you were born in Argentina. You were born in the Isabel Perón era. So how was it growing up in that era?
To grow up in Argentina? Well, I grew up in Buenos Aires. I lived in Buenos Aires during 45 years. Now I am living in another city, 500 kilometers to the north of Buenos Aires. The name is Paraná City, and it's a place very similar to this place. It's the hot weather, hot sun, and a lot of humidity. And of course very good food like here. I love the food in Goa.
Fantastic, but the best food that you have given Goa and India is through your music. Tell us, going back, Maestro, what made you get into classical music and not any other genres of music?
When I was a child, my grandmother started to teach me some piano pieces. And I'm in love with music since very young. I started with classical music when I was 13 years old, and I was lucky because I found a fantastic teacher that taught me a lot of things of the academic music, European academic music. But when I was 22, 23, I asked to me what happened with the music of my country. Mm-hmm. And I started to study the folk music and, of course, the tango. And when I arrived to tango, I discovered a world that is not easy to see, even living in Buenos Aires, because the tango is in this moment, or in the moment that I started, almost 30 years ago, was a little bit underground music. Yeah. Now it's a little bit more on stage, but 30 years ago was really underground, and for me it was a fantastic. I feel that I want to stay in this place with this music, and I try to mix my both activities. My activity as a choir conductor with academic music and the tango experience with instruments. And I start to compose music for choir and tango orchestra.
And Maestro, who were your greatest influences? Could you name 2 or 3 of people who taught you not only the piano but being a choir master and to conduct orchestras? Who were your main teachers, influences?
Well, in Buenos Aires we have a very big movement of choirs, and we have fantastic teachers. For example, Néstor Sadov or Néstor Andrenacci, and Antonio Russo was my teacher in the Conservatoire. We have all the European tradition in Buenos Aires. In tango terms, my first teacher was Rodolfo Mederos. That is a fantastic composer and orchestrator and bandoneonist. I spent 4 or 5 years taking classes with him at home, and of course piano also with Orlando Tripodi. That was one of the big pianists of the tango movement. I learned with them all the secrets of how to build an arrangement in an original tango way, and of course it's not easy to find somebody that's interested in the classical music and the tango music. Yeah. Sometimes you have a lot of people that are in the tango line or separated. So for me, the most important thing today in this time in all the countries maybe is to build bridges between the old tradition of academic music with the music of each country.
Maestro, Misa Tango, one of your best works, has has seen so many countries. It has had a long journey everywhere from Israel to United States of America to Europe, and now, I mean, last year even in Casablanca, the premiere was, the African premiere was in Casablanca. So how has been this journey?
Well, the Casablanca experience was fantastic, because I remember that the conductor is a French lady, told me that she took 2 years to convince the choir to sing this, because they have only one choir in Casablanca, and this is this choir, the polyphonic choir of Casablanca, and half of the people are Muslims. So they don't want to sing the Catholic Latin text. And she said, well, forget a little bit the text and look to the music, no? And they try the Kyrie, and the people loves the Kyrie, so they decide to perform the complete piece, and they call me to do the concert. And I am very proud of this, because the music with music is possible to share a multicultural experience, no? Of course, this piece is a Christian music, but of course the tango is not a religious music. So in the beginning, this piece is sacred because of the text, not the music, no? But of course, the bandoneon is a kind of organ, and this organ was used a lot in churches to play, no? So there are it's a difficult connection, but there are a connection. But to play this music with people of different religions was for me a very success of music, no?
Yeah. And Professor, personally, how is it dealing with your performers? I mean, some maybe of the various nationalities. Is there any language barrier? Anytime, I know it's music, but in any way when you'll practice, etc.
Well, you know, it's a little bit more difficult when people of different countries speak in different languages. But with music, we have internal language, no? And you know, we use the Italian as a world language. So normally everybody understands the Italian terms. But of course, sometimes it's not easy to transmit, because the choir conductors will love to talk about metaphors or extra musical images to show the music, and this is a little bit more in English is possible, in Spanish of course, but in France for example I have problems with the connection, because it's not easy my French is very bad. But you know, all the time you can find a way to express you, and everybody can understand, no? Of course the conductors have the hands and the face to transmit, so it's not a problem.
And in your experience, how has been the response of various audiences? I mean, in different countries there are different audiences, so how has been the response?
Well, normally I receive very good words of public, because the public discover a piece that is new, quite new. Well, it's not new now, but of course, if I come here, for Indian people it's new, and I feel that the music has this special connection with the tango, with folk music. The people can understand that the music that I am writing is not only my music. I am representing a lot of old generations of people that built they built this genre, this music. And it's not a piece that is disconnected of the rest of the story of Argentina. This piece, I am very proud of this, belongs to a lot of people that work in this. I only make a new version, including the choir. No, that this is a little bit a revolution, because the choir was never part of, was not part of the tango, and the aim of this piece is to give a place for the choirs to be included in the tango, no?
Yeah.
And I think this is new, and because the piece is a melodic piece, and it's not difficult to learn. This is part of the success, and in all the countries that I am visiting, the piece is very well receive.
Maestro, when you say the word tango, I mean the world over people remember Argentina, but in Goa, when you say Argentina, we remember football. So tell us about tango and football.
Well, there are a lot of connections between tango and football, no?
Yeah.
Because there are a little bit two passions of Argentine people. No? But now we are a little bit sad with football because we have one of the best football players, but we are not able to make a strong team to give him the chance to win the World Cup last time.
Even though it may be a stupid question, but you were born in the 60s. I mean, roughly around the same time when Maradona was born.
Yeah.
So, was there any day that you thought of taking up a football career instead of music?
Sorry. Fortunately for the football, fortunately for the football, I am a musician. No, thank you. No. It's not for me.
Yeah, there you go. Martin Palmeri, Maestro, who is with us with another rainbow moment.